Hi, Tony. Thank you. Thank you. I love the thumbs up. Let's get some more thumbs up. We have a good guest on today's show. What's the Good Word, brought to you by Park Ridge Living Magazine and Be Local Northwest Chicagoland. It's a Facebook Live show that, hi, John. Thanks for joining us. It's a Facebook Live show that brings you this live experience through Zoom and Facebook. It's kind of tricky to get from Zoom to Facebook, as you can tell from the beginnings of my show. I don't quite have it down yet, but we're going to type it up. This is our first week. All right. Thanks, Bob. All right, sounds good. Hi, Michael. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's the lunch hour. What are you having for lunch? All right, so this is a show designed to be, again, a Facebook Live experience. We're going to be talking with residents, businesses, local not-for-profits, and anybody else who wants to come on board. I invite anybody to come on. Just send me a message. The caveat here is you have to have something good to say, right? At least something good, right? And a few good laughs. So this will be brought to you every weekday at noon. I don't know if you can hear the church bells all around Park Ridge are going off right now, so you know it's showtime. And so feel free to comment, which I appreciate you doing. Hi, Stephanie. Good afternoon. I see you there. Michael, you're having a salad. Oh, and I just got it. Sorry, I couldn't read it all. Michael's having a salad from Booby's restaurant. Stephanie, what are you eating for lunch? We're trying to get more people on the show. We have a great show for you. A really great show. We're going to dive into the insurance business. And so I encourage you guys to share this interview with anyone that you want, and anyone living here and in Park Ridge or on the northwest side of Chicago. What prompted this is COVID-19 obviously has changed the world as we know it. And, it's going to be a good long time before we get things back to normal, quote unquote, right? So we want to keep things in perspective. We want to be informed. We want to figure out a way, which is the general feeling, at least here on the northwest side and in Park Ridge, where our offices are, that we want to do everything we can to support families, residents, businesses, and non-for-profits, obviously, any way we can, and stay positive and be good to each other, take care of each other. So I am joined today with my special guest, Matt. Thanks for being so patient there, Matt Coyne. Without further ado, with Coyne & Company Insurance, based here in Park Ridge. How you doing, Matt? Tell everybody where you're at right now.
Where am I at? I'm sitting on my motorcycle right behind my office. I don't get to ride much because the governor said I can't ride for anything other than commuting. So we are considered an essential business, so I am allowed to ride my motorcycle to work. And so I did. It's a nice day, so I figured I'd stay out. I'd have insurance outside today.
Yes, absolutely. And get some vitamin D, which is really important to do. One of the things they say that's really important to fight off any kind of virus or disease, and maybe not necessarily COVID-19, but it sure gives you an opportunity to stay strong and healthy, so that if it does, if you do become succumb to it, that's the word I want to get out. Got to get my water going, that you're healthy. So go outside, take a walk, get some vitamin D. Matt Coyne, thank you for being on the show. Matt is, again, the owner of Coyne & Company Insurance. So Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a lot about you, but a lot of people listening do know you, but a lot of people don't know you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, raised, and then we'll dive into your business here.
All right. So I was born and raised in Rogers Park in the city until I was 15 or 16. Then we moved to the North Shore. Went to New Trier East High School. I hope my Maine South families don't hold that against me. And wound up meeting my wife, Cheryl, at Loyola University. And we got married in 1989. We moved to Park Ridge in 1992 or something like that. And we've been here ever since. My business has moved here. My dad started the business in 1953. So the agency had moved out here to Park Ridge in 1983, and so it was convenient. Really love living here, and I have two kids, Justin, who's just turned 26, and he's living in Boston. He's a musician, trombone player, and my daughter is packing up her stuff in New Orleans right now as we speak. She drove back down there because she's finishing her law. She's going to have her law degree in a couple of weeks, but she had to bail out of New Orleans because of the COVID-19, and came up here, and then she's just going back to pick up her stuff and then coming back home, where she's going to take the bar and hopefully practice law here in the city.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. So she'll be home for the summer, huh? That's the benefit of all of this. The kids are home, at least most of them anyway.
Well, he'll be home. She'll be home until she finds a place to live, because that's what her plan is. Because she'll be a lawyer, and and I forgot to mention my wife Cheryl is the accounting manager at Lurvy Landscape, who, by the way, is open for retail sales once again. So if you need plants and stuff, head over to Lurvy's.
Yes, and Lurvy's just provided me with all the plantings for my vegetable garden, and love the topiaries over there. Okay, Matt, so tell us then now about your business. What sets you apart from everybody else? It's a long-standing tradition. Your father started this, as you mentioned, so really well-respected and well-known man, and now you and your brother have taken it over. What sets your insurance company apart from the rest?
Well, I think the fact is that we've been family owned and operated since 1953, and that is not as common as you might think in the insurance anymore. Used to be very common, but there are a lot of much bigger agencies out there now, so that have a much more corporate feel to it, and probably wouldn't be doing their interview, FaceTime, Facebook interview from sitting on their motorcycle in front of behind their office. But really that's it. It's a personal touch. My brother and I have had a great partnership. 1983, when we bought the business from my dad, he handles the commercial and life insurance aspect of our business, and I handle the personal lines, home and auto, etc. It's a nice mix of responsibilities. It also makes for a lot more pleasant times at the Thanksgiving table, because we're not tripping over each other saying what one person could do better than the other. And it's really worked really, really well for 30 plus years that we've been doing it. And I guess that's another thing that differentiates us from other agencies in the area. We're an independent agent. That's a car starting up. As I said, I'm in the parking lot, so hopefully that isn't too much. But we're an independent agent. That means we're contracted with several different insurance companies that we choose. And as a result, we give our clients some choices, but not only choices of insurance companies, but most of what are considered direct writers or captive agents, State Farms, Allstate, et cetera, they're really focused only on personal insurance, which is great. And I know a lot of really good agents that are State Farm and Allstate and Farmers agents, but they don't generally have the expertise in the life insurance and commercial insurance that we do. We do pretty much everything. So we give people choice not only in terms of what companies they can align with, but what products they can buy from us.
Awesome. Hey, Matt, Bob Funamora, I hope I'm saying your name right, Bob. He says, thank you, Matt, for being on. Well, I thank you, Matt, for being on. Stephanie's having tacos. What are you guys having? What's the good word out there? Hello, Jocelyn Shook. We really appreciate you guys checking us out and listening in. We're talking to Matt Coyne with Coyne and Company Insurance. If you have any questions for Matt, now's the time to put them in the comments. We really appreciate that. Here, I got a comment. John Kanania. Oh, I hope I'm not butchering these names. Great show, Dolly. Hopefully we can talk in the future. Okay, yeah, we will talk, sure. So Matt, let's dive into some insurance questions. And then obviously we also want to know how you're adjusting to COVID-19, but first, what are must-haves in their insurance corner? What are must-haves? Life insurance, obviously house insurance, but things that maybe some people don't even think about or consider.
I think in that regard, what most people understand that they have to have auto insurance. What they don't understand is that that the liability limits are really important, and how much coverage you have, and the quality of the insurance company are driving forces there. And I think people tend to take an attitude that they can just, that buying insurance off of the internet or whatever is going to give them all their answers. It might, if they have a decent knowledge of insurance, but it doesn't always work out that way. So it's really not about the product, although I do think that life insurance, especially for younger people, is something that they just simply overlook. And we have products where you can buy life insurance. So life insurance policies are based on your health. The rates are based on your health and your age. So you can buy those life insurance policies now when you're young and healthy, and at that lower price. And we have ways of being able to buy that policy and keep kind of those lower prices for longer, so that you're not forced to buy life insurance when you're 50 and have to pay quite a bit more.
Matt, you got a bird competing with you in the background there. He wants to say a few good words.
That's right. Okay. So I think life insurance.
We do have a question. What do you think of whole life insurance? Now, when you were talking, are you talking about whole life or term life there?
Well, okay. So that's why you need people like me or my brother, Ed, especially, to help you guide through whether you do need term or life insurance, term or whole life or universal life. There are purposes for all of those things. Generally speaking, if I were a young person and just trying to get some insurance, I would take the term insurance because it's the least expensive option generally. Well, absolutely, it's the least expensive option, this term, as compared to a whole life policy. But I would get it and get something in place, and then we can, so that you have some coverage. The problem is that people spend months or years debating what they should have, a universal life policy that costs a little bit more and might have some investment type vehicle attached to it, or variable life insurance, or they should buy the cheaper term insurance. And they try to figure out all of this stuff, and while they're figuring it out, they don't have any insurance at all. So our recommendation generally is to get life insurance in place, and that the easiest way to do that generally is term life. And as a matter of fact, right now, our major life carrier, Erie Insurance, is making it really easy, so that you don't have to have a paramedic exam for most people. Won't have to get a paramedic exam like a blood test and urine test to get the life insurance because of the COVID-19 issue. So they're waiving some of the prior requirements for a big chunk of the population. So now would be a great time for people to start talking about life insurance.
Oh, good advice. Good advice. Hey, we want to say hello to Steve Judge, who's saying hello to you today, Matt.
Hey, Steve.
Bridget is asking, hey, or we'll get to this question. This is, we're going to dive into that, Bridget. But Bridget wanted to say that she really loves what you're doing in the community and how we can all make more of a difference for people in Park Ridge. So before we get to that though, Matt, let's talk about COVID-19, how it's affected your business, if it's even affected you. I know a lot of people have gotten actually checks from their insurance companies, but in the long run, our consumers, are your clients going to see, not because of anything having to do with your insurance company per se, but because of COVID-19, are rates going to go up? What are some new insurance products that we should consider because of this too?
Okay, so there's two parts to that question. First of all, what are we specifically doing? How is our business affected? We were considered an essential business, so we decided that we would take necessary safety measures within our office. So we only have 4 people when we would usually have 10 people in our office. The remaining people are working remotely. Those are mostly our producers, and we have most of our service staff in-house, and myself. So my brother, who is sheltering in place in Maui for part of this time, is sheltering in place at home and working from there. And we, thanks to Unbound Technologies, which is one of our clients, chamber member, and our IT company, we were able to set things up really well to work remotely. And actually, we could flip a switch tomorrow if we had to, and all of us could work remotely. So that's how we were affected directly. Indirectly, we'll be affected because as businesses remain shut down, their sales will diminish, their payroll will diminish over time, and their rates, their premiums are based on sales and payroll, business clients. So they will, so their premiums will be less, which means we get paid less. On personal insurance, people will be maybe, if this goes for long enough, maybe have to sell their house, maybe have to sell a car. They won't have as big or robust policies as they might have otherwise had if the economy were going along smoothly. So we think we're going to see a drop in income, but it's a delayed response. It'll be, months from now that we see that. And then you asked about
your charitable work. Well, when this hit, a lot of businesses froze, but you didn't do that. Coyne came up with some creative ways to give back and support local businesses during these uncertain times. And tell us about that.
Yeah, I will. I did want to, and I know I got a little long-winded there, but I want to talk about what our companies specifically have done. So Safeco Insurance, our main company, Safeco, Progressive, West Bend, Erie, and Hartford, and Hanover have all made arrangements to return premium to their personal lines auto customers, and in the case of Erie, their commercial lines auto customers, for anywhere from 15% to 30% of 2 months worth of premium. And that's subject to change. If they find that business are closed for longer, they may come back and add a third month. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, Erie Insurance in particular has been extremely thoughtful on this process and has decided that they're going to reduce personal lines auto rates by 5% starting August 1st, when actually the rate indication said that they would be increasing rates. They're actually reducing rates by an average of 5% across the state of Illinois. So that should bode well for our existing Erie customers, but also for new customers that are interested in trying to save a little money at that time. So those are some things that they have done. Now, if you can do me a favor and just ask me what you were going to ask me about about what I'm doing.
Well, first of all, Matt, before this happened, before COVID-19, Matt's always been a leader in Park Ridge, giving back, thinking about other people that go under the radar. He's an advocate for avenues to independence, the harbor, and those are just a few of the many that he's actively tried to support and help spread the good word about those charities. And so now, after COVID-19 hit, Coyne and Company has created some ways to give back, support local businesses, and support some local charities. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, happy to do it. As soon as my
the bird chirping stuff.
As soon as my niece pulls her car out, here she's going to get some lunch.
We got birds, we got cars going. Hey, if you're just tuning in, listen, everybody. We really appreciate you listening in. What's the good word? I want to do a shout out to some folks that are just joining us now. Allison, Kyle, Frank, Tony DeVito. I see Abdul Shabazz, and who else is on here? Frank Magri, hello, and Kim Fahey, hello, everybody. It's great to have you on. We're talking to Matt Coyne with Coyne & Company Insurance, and we were just talking about, you can always rewind this and watch it later, but Matt was giving us some great tips and advice on insurance. And now let's talk about you as a business owner here in Park Ridge, what you're doing to give back, Matt, during this crazy time.
Great, happy to do it. We're really pleased with what pleased with ourselves, I suppose. I don't want to really pat ourselves on the back, but when this hit, we noticed when they started closing the businesses, restaurants especially, we were trying to figure out how we could help. My brother and I both live here in town, and we really enjoy, maybe too much, the new restaurants and bars basically that have come into Park Ridge over the last several years, thanks to our city council's really good work in bringing those businesses into town. So we heard that these businesses were closing. What we decided to do, Ed and I decided to do, was to buy gift cards. We bought about $1,000 worth of gift cards from chamber member restaurants, Holt's, Harp and Fiddle, Nona Sylvia's, Pennyville, I Caramba, Shaku. I'm missing at least one. And we took those cards and we bought them in $25 increments. Oh, T. Lula also, and Beer on the Wall, and Off the Wall Cafe. And now we got an airplane, but that's all right.
You got a whole fan club out. You got a whole fan club out there. Can you guys hear Matt?
We took the gift cards, and then we did a Facebook fundraiser for an organization called Center of Concern. Center of Concern helps people, mostly seniors, but other people with disabilities that can't really get out of their house. And they're particularly taxed at this time because they have more people isolated due to the quarantine issues. So we thought that would be a good way to help out a great organization. So we set up a fundraiser, and everybody that made a donation to Center of Concern got a gift card, a $25 gift card. So we spent $1,000 in the helping out the local businesses, and then the good people of Park Ridge mainly, but of surrounding areas, went and spent $2,000 in donations to Center of Concern to get these gift cards, which they will be able to use once we're holding them back until the restaurants actually reopen, so that they use those cards when they're needed most in the restaurants, is when they're trying to get back on their feet. So we thought it was a win-win-win. Right about that time, Erie Insurance announced a program that they call Erie Agents Giving Back, and they've allocated $1,000 per agent, over $2 million nationwide, to each agency to use as they see fit, basically to help organizations in a similar way that we had already done. And we're going to use that dollars and then match our own. So we have $1,000 from Erie, and then we're going to match it with $1,000 of our own. And we're going to figure out a way to get, that we haven't worked out the details yet, but we're going to help another organization called the Harbor, which helps young women who are homeless and trying to find a way in the world. And they have their own difficulties at this time because there's no jobs. And they were living on the street and they need someplace to live. So I'm working with the executive director of the Harbor, Chris Salyards, who's a wonderful person, and trying to figure out exactly how we're going to help. But so that's our next project, and that's going to be, I'll have an announcement on that. Ed and I will have an announcement on that probably in a day or so.
Awesome. Well, Matt, that is just tremendous. Thanks for everything that you're doing for the Harbor, Avenues to Independence, and even supporting all those local small businesses that are suffering too as well. We really wish the best for you. Really thank you so much, Matt, for all you're doing. Again, if you enjoyed this interview, folks, as much as we've enjoyed all your comments too. I know Bridget Coyne said, it's like romper room, me doing all the shout outs to everybody. Hi, Susie. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Matt.
I can't see.
You remember what romper room is?
I don't get
generation.
Yeah, I don't. Well, before your generation, I think. I don't get to see the comments, so I'm assuming that Bridget is my sister, Bridget, who I love very much.
Your sister? Hi, Bridget, sister, Matt's sister.
And she's doing her own a tough job over there. So, you know, it's great to have compliments from your family because, you know, you're not usually a hero in your own family.
Well, you're a hero in my book, Matt. Thanks for everything you're doing. It's awesome. When everybody's sitting back and being fearful and thinking of buying toilet paper for their family. I'm kidding. People are thinking about other things. You're always thinking about other people. There's a lot of good people out there doing that, but we wanted to highlight the good things that you're doing in our community, Matt. So hats off to you. Ed Zamaroff, hi, Matt and Dolly. Gladys, hello. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Come on back tomorrow at noon. I have a new guest tomorrow as well, and that will be live as well. What I want to tell you was to like us on Facebook and Instagram, Park Ridge Living, Be Local, Northwest Chicagoland, and of course, Matt Coyne, Coyne and Company Insurance, like them, and please try to support, if you can, the gift card program to benefit the avenues and the harbor. Okay, Matt, thanks so much. Tonight, by the way, it's Wednesday, everybody. You know what Wednesday means? You recognize this, Matt? Can you
I can't see it.
This is a luminary. So we have in Park Ridge and different towns neighboring us have adopted the same program after our lead. We have put luminaries out every Wednesday night. This is a luminary with sand and a candle inside. If you don't have one and you don't have a candle of your own, you're welcome to come by the Park Ridge Living offices and pick up a free one. And every Wednesday night through the shelter in place, and we've done it for the last month, we're putting out candles and luminaries to unite with light and let our first responders, our firemen, our police officers, paramedics, nurses, doctors, everybody on the front lines helping us get through this pandemic. And we want them to know we are thinking of them and we are with them through this and supporting them for sure. So please do it. Join us and put a candle out tonight at 8 o'clock. And it's going to be a good night. It's a beautiful day. Usually on Wednesday nights, Matt, it's raining. The last month, every Wednesday night, it rains. But the first couple weeks, and we still have a lot of candles and luminaries out. The first couple weeks, it wasn't raining. If you walk around the town and you see all the candles and the luminaries and on everybody's front steps, it's really a beautiful sight to see. So if you're not doing it in your town, feel free to drive through, take a ride with the family, and see all the luminaries and the pretty homes we have here in Park Ridge. All right, finally, we're going to throw out a gift card to you, a free dance lesson at Fred Astaire Dance Studios here in Park Ridge. If you do what I asked you to do, tag Coyne and Company, follow them, like them on their Facebook and their Instagram. Matt, you're on both, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we'll pick a random winner and you'll get a free dance lesson at Fred Astaire here in Park Ridge. Have you ever taken a dance lesson there, Matt?
Yeah, I did through the Chamber of Commerce. I think they had a little mini dance lesson at one of their open houses.
Yeah, it's a good time, good time. So thanks to our friends at Fred Astaire and to Matt Coyne again with Coyne Insurance. Check them out on Facebook and on Instagram. Thanks everybody for listening in. Stay positive and be good to each other and keep spreading the good word. We'll see you all tomorrow for another edition of What's the Good Word. So long. Bye, Matt. Thank you again.
Thanks. Bye, Del. See you.
Be safe.
You too.